All right, today I'm working on a Jag. This is going to be xj8, just the regular 8. Basically, customer complaint is that the suspension is like once it's tilted, so you have like that. So you have the passenger side all raised all the way up, and then the driver side doesn't go up. It will go up just a little bit, but there could be a few things. But I just kind of want to give you my little story on my situation on what happened. So I can kind of give you a rundown of what to do, and then obviously there is procedures on how to diagnose to see what you have, like if you have a leak or anything, or if it's the actual diverter valve for the air suspensions. I mean, it's a very simple system. It's not very complicated. You can reset the system. You can try that first and then go from there. The car only has 3 sensors, so it's a ride height sensor. You have 2 in the rear and then 1 on the driver's side. On the passenger side rides off the one on the driver's side. So when you are doing the ride height adjust, you need to make sure that the passenger is the same height with the driver. If not, then obviously one's going to be tilted, then you're out of whack. So eventually it will level itself out, but just not right away. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I kind of did and, kind of go on from there. But if you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions on this, and then hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And we'll go ahead and start this video after the intro. So basically, as you can see right here, passenger side, you can see probably have a good maybe about like 6 fingers, and then this is the passenger front, and then we're gonna go hop over to the driver side, and as you can see, we got a 4-finger depth, so we got a huge difference, probably about a few inches. And then the rear, obviously I'll just kind of show you that. So we got about good 2 fingers right there, and then we'll check out for the right rear. Same thing, 2 fingers. So we're good on the rear. It's just the front right. All right. So first thing, what I did was basically I replaced the alternator, and then after the customer left, the suspension was kind of like out of whack. And then after they left, they drove it. I did the road test because they brought it back because the suspension started like getting more crazy. This actually got really high. I mean, like really high. Like it overinflated to the max, and then as soon as you hit a bump, it'll just be bouncing all around. Suspension's all sketchy. It's bouncing all over the road. So I had them brought it back, checked it out, diagnosed it. As I was looking with a scanner, you don't need a scanner to look at it. You can look at it from the battery perspective. Not perspective. You can look at it from the battery and then get a voltage from here, from the alternator reading. So technically you should have at least 13.5 to like 14.9 voltage just to keep the whole system running, because obviously this system is, so the alternator that I put, the bearing went out and it got shot. So my voltage was actually at like 11 voltage. Car would start right up like nothing. So I never thought about any low voltage. I have no battery indicator light and so on. So soon it caught my attention when I was on the scan tool, and then I'm like, well, maybe the scanner's kind of off. So I did that, checked that out, and that sure enough been that. So here, this is the little air storage right there, and then right here we have our lines. I think yellow is gonna be for the front right, and so on. I forgot what red. I think red is right rear, and then pink is for the compressor. And then these guys, I think this one right here is for the compressor, and obviously the pink one's for the compressor tank. But yeah, so we have the other ones, or I think the white one's the compressor. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but obviously when you start, what you have to do is you kind of have to release all the air to most of it. So basically you would leave it down to where you would kind of get a little bit close to where the wheel is. So you would get it right here. That's for all the, like for the body itself. You want to get it a little bit right near the tire. Same thing for the rear. Obviously you're going to need a measuring tape so you can measure the resistance. If you didn't want to take off the whole tire, you can, well, no, this is a new suspension, so the way how the valves on this is a little bit different, so don't do that. Just go ahead and release the air from the back. And let's say if you have a leak though, but this is if you want to do the whole ride height suspension and all that. Right here, fuse, I think it's 52. So fuse 52, you pull that fuse off and you let the car sit for about 15 minutes with the fuse disconnected, and then you go ahead and put the back on the fuse, and then you go ahead and take it for a road drive. Now the car has to be over 25 miles an hour. I would just say at a steady speed for at least 5 miles, and then the system will adjust itself. All right, if you do that and it's still not being consistent, if the suspension didn't correct itself, then obviously we got a leak in the suspension or a leak in the line. Now, one way to find those leaks is that you'll have a spray bottle with soapy water, and then you will just, what you're going to be doing is looking for air bubbles. So that's what you want to see, like little pockets of, well, you just want to see the soapy water bubble up. So once you start seeing that bubble up, then you'll know you found your leak, and then obviously you're gonna have to fix it and address it. Now, all right, let's say if all that worked. Now let's say if no matter what you're doing, that one side is not as inflating as fast as it should. Basically, you need to look at that system. If everything, like I said, the alternator checked out, whatever, all that, because I think I had the code for Charlie 2203 or something like that, or 2303, something like that. I forgot what the code was for the system suspension fault, because obviously the air compressor was running more, I think, than 25 or 45 seconds, one of those two. So let's get back to this part. So if your one wheel, let's say if this wheel wasn't going up as fast as it should, what you need to do is spray soapy water on the suspension. Check this line. So you need to check the nylon hoses. Obviously they do go bad, so you're gonna have to do some labor intense, taking off some parts, checking it out. Spray right here. I know these guys tend to leak a lot of the little valves. Spray around the shock itself, the boot, see if you see any leaks, and then you would have to go obviously all under and check it out, go from under the car and all that. Then what you can do is, if you want to make sure, if you're not too sure, one easy way you can do is make sure that the whole car air suspension is already inflated and all that. So just like how this is, and you would go to the back of the car, disconnect this fuse, or you can disconnect both cables, or you can just disconnect the negative and disconnect the diverter assembly. So you just disconnect right here and this one, and then you'll let it sit overnight. And so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to see which side goes down. So even if you have the car off and you didn't disconnect that, the car will actually start adjusting itself. So while I was working on this one time, it did it to me. This wheel dropped down, and yeah, it was kind of sketchy. But so the suspension will correct itself over time, but you need to let it sit overnight. Measure all your, let's just say this is 26 inches high, that one's 27, and then so on. We got 27, 27. Let's just say for the angles. So if one side drops down, then obviously we got to check up in this area, see what's up. Sometimes the little diverter valve can be bad, and that is a little pricey for that. I think that's like a $300 unit. If nothing drops down, then you have no leaks, like 0 leaks. So we're good on that. What else? Yeah, I think that'll be it for that. If you have any questions, this is the stuff that I can think about. If you have any questions on this, just give me a heads up. Comment down below. I think Yeah, I don't think I'll do like a little reset procedure, obviously because I explained it in the video. But if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And thanks for watching.